Hey there, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be describing how me and my duo fight. We have been working for the past few weeks to perfect our fighting, and I found some strategies that actually work really well, and I've never seen anyone else talk about them. So I'll describe 3 strategies in this video. They're called Piece Control, Defensive, and Angles. These strategies are used in different situations, and I'll try to describe them the best I can, and I'll include any relevant in-game examples that I can find. Let's get it. So strategy 1 we're going to talk about is piece controlling as a duo. So a lot of you know what piece control is, but maybe you aren't the best at piece controlling as a duo. I'm going to explain the basics of it, and then I'll move into how to do it as a duo. Basically, piece control is when a player tries to own as many builds around yourself and the opponent as possible. So basically, if I take this wall and place the cone over top of the opponent, that is piece control. I controlled the build above their head and the wall in front of me, and that allowed me to get the kill even with all the choked edits. Now that I explained that, let's talk about our first strategy, which is how to piece control as a duo. First, let's talk about the roles when piece controlling as a duo. The player with lower ping should be grabbing the walls while their teammate is spraying at the walls. With one player holding the walls, you'll have a better chance of getting it. The player holding the walls will also be making edits. If you get the wall and the opponent is on the other side of that wall, the person holding the wall should make a right-hand peek for their teammate. However, if you get the wall and the opponent is not there, like they're tunneling away, if it is safe enough, then you can push forward through their tunnel, but you may need to try to grab some side walls if the opponent owns all the walls in that box. Also, if the opponent is tunneling away, you could just get a new angle and start over. Just completely reposition yourselves. Like in this situation, this guy just kept on running, so I'm just restarting the piece control, just getting on new walls and trying to take walls, and eventually we get him stuck. Trapped here? But this guy was so slippery, he kept getting away. Now, I feel like I talked about that really fast and kind of went over everything fast, so let's go into this in a bit more detail and how to do it safely. Pay close attention because this strategy can be so useful if used correctly. So let's say you're in a box fight situation and you and your duo are pushing the opponent's wall. The player who is holding the wall and making the edits for their teammate should be on the left side of the box when pushing the wall. And the player who is spraying the wall and shooting the shots when the wall gets edited should be toward the right side of the box, maybe slightly back, like slightly towards the back right. This is the most effective positioning for piece controlling as a duo because the player who edits the right-hand peaks can simply edit a window on the right side of the wall, and the shooter can instantly be in a position for a right-hand peek shot. On top of that, when the player who's editing the wall edits a window, they won't be exposed at all when making that edit. Before I continue, I just want to say that me and my duo are still working really hard to master this, and the gameplay I'm going to show has its flaws. We don't always set up the peaks correctly, and we don't always push the walls correctly, but keep in mind what I had just said. Edit the windows on the right side, the shooter is on the right side, and the editor is on the left side. That's the way to do it properly. I'm going to play out some more clips of me and my teammate doing piece control, but I'm going to point out the flaws at the end of this video. So if you want to see us VOD reviewing the piece control clips, that'll be at the end of the video. But for now, I'm going to finish explaining piece control and then we'll move on to the next strategies. So you might be wondering, like, when would I actually use this? Like, what points in the game would I use this fighting strategy? The answer is there's many situations where it can be used. It can be used in late game when following through somebody's tarp. Like if you need a frag in late game, maybe you just jump into somebody's tarp and you start piece controlling as a duo. It can be used in early game when you're low on mats or need a quick frag and you guys are together pushing somebody. It can be used in box fight situations. It can be used when it's a 2v1 and you're pushing the one person's wall. Or like when someone's trying to tunnel away and heal, you guys can push that together. There are many situations it can be used, as you can see, but the hard part about doing this is simply starting to do it. And I know that sounds like really stupid, but let me explain. Basically, me and my duo were practicing in this piece control map that I made. We had been practicing for a while, just getting the concept down, but the hardest part of learning to piece control as a duo was applying it in-game. Basically, the way we overcame this issue was by coming up with names for each of the different plays that I talk about in this video. So anytime we hear the play name, we know to instantly start doing it. So we made up the name Piece Control, and anytime one of us says Piece Control, we get into position. Building's on fire.
Yeah, it's because of dude.
They're breaking down low. Right here, Piece Control it. Spray it.
Piece control. Go.
70. 105. Dead. Dead. The hardest part of learning to fight like this was simply forcing ourselves to do it in game. A lot of duos that are struggling to fight struggle because they often start fighting as solos anytime they get in a fight. Like they get split and the comms maybe start to die out. But the only way you guys are going to be able to overcome this is by really trying to listen to each other and talk to each other and fight together. And learning plays like this is a good way to start that. So now let's hop into the second strategy in this video. It's called defensive. This playstyle is mostly used when we are either being pushed when we're weak, low on mats, or in late game being psychoed. Anytime we yell out defensive, we get together and start using this playstyle. This playstyle is very similar to the piece control style, however this is the defensive version of it. Basically it works the same way. The player who is taking the shots positions themselves on the right side, and the player holding/editing the wall is on the left. If someone starts getting their wall pushed, the player being pushed yells on me, and then both players get into their positions. The positioning is the same as in piece controlling. So the person with lower ping, the person who holds the walls and edits the walls, is on the left side, and then the shooter is on the right side, towards the back right. So then the editor would either edit a peanut butter shot or like a window on the right side of the wall. Me and my duo prefer to do the window shot, it's a little more protected, but sometimes a peanut butter is necessary. So if me and my teammate are in our base and we start getting pushed, we just yell defensive. That way we're both on the same page. And then as soon as somebody gets their wall pushed, if it's only one player pushing their wall especially, then we get together in our positions and start working them. So the third strategy we're going to talk about in this video is called angles. So when me and my teammate play angles, this is our typical fighting style, where we are fighting together but at the same time kind of on our own. We're looking for opponents to spray, so if I see someone boxed up and have a safe angle to spray, and I think that we can get some tags, I mark it and tell my teammate to spray if he can. Then we spray them and look for new angles after we're done spraying. We also try to push up on people's boxes from different sides, that way they feel trapped. They're being pressured from multiple angles. If we see the opponents get split, then we call it out and push the closest player together, and as fast as we can. Because when they get split, that means it's a 2v1 until they get back together. We call out any hits we get on the opponents, we try to stay a few boxes away from each other or on a similar layer, because if we get too split, then we'll get 2v1'd. So if I ever see Temper getting too far away from me, or if he sees me getting too far away from him, then we'll say regroup, or we're split, or get to my lair, something like that. The comms need to be constant during fighting. If there aren't any comms, then you are most likely fighting as a solo, my friend, and that is no-no.
Box, full box, sprinkle. You stole my kill.
What do you mean, bro? I hit him for 30 damage.
Notice how me and my teammate are cycling in from two different directions in these next two clips? They never know what to do when you cycle in from two different directions. So now I want to go over a few of the things that I did wrong while leading the piece control in these clips. In this clip specifically, I didn't pay attention to the angles that the enemies had on us. I was tunneling forward and piece controlling forward, but I didn't realize that they would have these cheeky right-hand peeks, and that's something you need to be careful of. I also tried to do it a little bit too fast. I was running faster than we could even break the builds, and because of that I got shot here. One big thing I took away from this push here was that we were going up against a fully built brick wall, so I should have started the spraying. Having my teammate spray alone takes too long, and then I should have set the right hand peak on the far right side instead of the middle. In this situation, we were just starting out learning piece control and we were in the completely wrong positions. I'm supposed to be on the left side holding the wall. He's supposed to be on the right side spraying the wall. And then I set up a left-hand peek. All wrong here, all wrong.
This side.
And then this last clip here, which we saw earlier, was almost really good, except for the peaks that I set up. I should have made windows on the far right side, and on top of that, I should have been focusing on resetting the wall instead of shooting with my teammate. If I focus on resetting my wall, I can prevent me and my teammate from getting hit. So those were the 3 strategies I wanted to share with you in this video. There's obviously other fighting strategies. These are just 3 of them that me and my teammate have been testing out and that have been working really well, so I figured I'd share them with you. Let me know if you want me to go into any more detail on any of those 3 topics. I'll probably end up making another how to fight in duo arena video soon. Maybe I'll do like VOD reviewing my duos fights, or I could do like when to fight as a duo, kind of like I did with solos. But yeah, let me know in the comments any videos you want to see me do, and I hope this video helped you out. Like and comment, and subscribe if you're new. Thanks guys, peace.